All right, today we're going to dive into something that's really at the core of the Islamic faith. It's something that goes way beyond just rituals and prayers. We're talking about akhlaq, which is basically the art of building an Islamic character. And to really get a grip on how important this is, you just have to look at this one powerful statement from the Prophet Muhammad. And by the way, you'll often hear Muslims say, "Peace be upon him," after his name. It's a sign of deep respect. This quote, it basically frames his entire mission. It tells us that working on our character, well, that's not some side quest. It is the main event. Okay, so let's get right to it. Why? Why is good character considered the absolute heart of the Islamic faith? You know, it's actually pretty simple when you think about it. In Islam, your actions, your manners, the way you treat people, that's the real proof of what you believe in your heart. It's like your faith on the inside showing up on the outside. So the bottom line is, you just can't separate good character from strong faith. They go hand in hand. And get this, because this really shows you what's at stake. Picture a scale on the Day of Judgment, weighing out everything you've ever done. According to this teaching, the one thing, the single heaviest thing that will tip that scale in your favor is your good character. That just takes akhlaq from something that's nice to have in this life to something that has eternal weight.
Okay, so we've established why it's a huge deal. But what is good character in this context? Let's actually break it down and define. So the word we're using is akhlaq, and it's this really big, all-encompassing term. It's not just about, being nice. Think of it more like your entire moral compass, your personal code of ethics, your manners, all of it rolled into one, shaping every single interaction you have, from the huge ones to the tiny ones. And here we can see that big idea broken down into things we can actually understand and practice. See, it's not just one single thing. It's about being actively kind, being truly honest, having patience when things get frustrating, showing humility even when you've got every reason to be proud, being generous with what you have, and showing genuine respect for others. And the scope of this is, well, it's huge. Akhlaq isn't something you just turn on for public display. No. It's about how you talk to your family, how you handle that difficult neighbor, how you interact with a total stranger. And it goes even beyond that. It extends to how we treat animals and even the environment itself. It's truly a full 360-degree way of living. So you might be thinking, wow, that's a really high standard. So where do you even look for an example to follow? Well, that brings us to the ultimate role model. In Islam, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, isn't just seen as a messenger who delivered a book. He's considered the living, walking, breathing embodiment of the Quran's teachings. He's the perfect example of akhlaq in action. His life is basically the how-to guide for developing this amazing character. I mean, just look at some of these examples from his life. We're talking legendary honesty and patience. But what's really incredible is how consistent he was. He showed kindness even to his enemies, people who actively tried to harm him. He had this deep respect for women and children. He never shouted or insulted anyone. He was always helping the poor, and he even showed kindness to animals. It makes this lofty ideal feel so much more real and achievable, All right, so we've got the definition and we've got the ultimate role model. Now let's get practical. How do you actually start building your own character? This here is basically our roadmap. It all starts with self-control. That's the foundation for everything. Then it's about diving into the main sources, the Quran, the Holy Book, and the Sunnah, which are the teachings and lifestyle of the Prophet. But look closer. It's not just about reading and studying. It's a whole life approach. You've got to find good friends, learn to manage your anger, and importantly, ask God for help in purifying your heart. But what about right now, in our modern world? That's a totally fair question, isn't it? I mean, it's one thing to talk about these beautiful ideals, but trying to live them out with all the stress and pressure of modern life, that's a whole different ballgame. And I love this breakdown because it shows how these timeless teachings are actually perfect solutions for our modern problems. Feeling totally stressed out? The answer is patience. Dealing with anger, maybe some road rage? The prescription is calmness. Feeling that peer pressure? You counter it with wisdom. And in our crazy world of social media, the antidote is a serious commitment to truthfulness. It just proves how relevant akhlaq still is today. But here's the thing. This isn't just about making yourself a better person in a vacuum. Good character creates this powerful ripple effect. And that's what we're going to look at now, how it impacts all of society. This really illustrates it perfectly. It all starts with you, with finding that peace within yourself. And then that peace naturally radiates outward. It brings harmony to your family. And when families are strong and peaceful, that builds trust in the community. And when communities trust each other, you get unity in the whole society. It's amazing to think that it all starts with the character of just one person. So the key takeaway here is that working on your character is actually a huge act of social responsibility. Think about it. Every single time you choose honesty or respect or kindness, you're basically casting a vote for the kind of world you want to live in. You're laying another brick in the foundation of a better, stronger, safer society for everyone. And that brings us right back to where we started. Remember we said good character is the heaviest thing on that scale in the afterlife? Well, it turns out it's not just the heaviest reward then, it's also the greatest reward right now, for you, for your family, and for your entire community. So I want to leave you with a final thoughts, a little personal challenge. After all of this, it really just boils down to one choice, one action at a time. So ask yourself, what one act of good character, maybe a little extra kindness, a bit more patience, a moment of honesty, what one thing will you make a point to practice today?